Welcome back to the Iraqi dinar, your trusted source for the latest updates on the Iraqi dinar, financial developments, banking intel, and real reports from people living through the changes in Iraq. What we're bringing you today isn't just another routine update. It's a strong indication that the momentum in Iraq is accelerating. If you've been waiting for a clear, undeniable signal that the revaluation is getting closer, this is it. We've just received a brand new report from one of our most reliable sources on the ground in Iraq. He's known as Firefly, a citizen who lives and breathes the day-to-day reality of the country. He's not watching from afar. He's living it firsthand, staying informed through direct contact with local residents, bankers, and government officials. His insights have consistently proven accurate, and what he's shared today is significant. According to Firefly, the message coming from Iraq's highest levels of leadership, including Prime Minister Sudani and Central Bank Governor Alaq, is loud, firm, and deliberate. They are urging citizens to return the large denomination notes that have circulated since the early 2000s. We're talking about the 25,000, 10,000, and 50,000 dinar notes, high-value bills that many Iraqis have kept hidden due to a deep-rooted mistrust in the banking system. For years, people across Iraq have been stashing these notes away, under mattresses, buried in fields, or locked in safes, because they didn't believe the system could be trusted to protect their savings. After decades of instability, their skepticism made sense. But things have changed. The leadership is now pushing hard for those notes to come back to the banks. And the message they're sending is clear. Bring the notes in now, or face potentially less favorable terms when the currency structure changes. Naturally, this message has caused a stir among the population. Some interpret it as a threat or a warning. But Firefly didn't stop at the headlines. He dug deeper. He went to someone with real insight, a trusted figure in his community named Mr. Sammy. This isn't just someone chatting at a coffee shop. Mr. Sammy is a respected local authority with a finger on the pulse of what's really happening behind the scenes. When asked whether the government's message was something to be worried about, Sammy calmly responded, "Relax. Everything is moving in the right direction." What Sammy said echoed something deeper than reassurance. He emphasized that this isn't a threat, it's a strong signal of forward movement. According to him, the value of the Iraqi dinar is not increasing because the US dollar is falling, but because the dinar itself is gaining strength. This is an internal shift, a deliberate, organic, and carefully managed process aimed at restoring Iraq's currency to its right. When Frank26 heard the same news, his reaction was striking. He said, "Why are you calling this a threat? I call it a blessing." That single line carries a powerful message. The large, outdated notes are being phased out, not through panic or pressure, but through structured policy and reform. And in their place will come lower denominations, something those following this closely have been expecting for years. Let's stop here for a moment and unpack that. Iraq has long discussed the plan to drop the 3 zeros, not by physically altering the old notes, but by reintroducing the currency with an entirely new structure. That means smaller, more practical denominations that reflect realistic prices and true purchasing power. This shift will give Iraqis a currency that matches the needs of a modern economy. You simply can't operate a healthy local or international economy when your smallest commonly used note is worth what could soon equal hundreds of dollars. Imagine trying to buy groceries or fill up your car with only high-denomination bills. It's not just impractical, it's damaging to trust and economic activity. That's why the introduction of lower denominations is such a crucial step. It signals that Iraq is getting ready to engage meaningfully with its own economy, the region, and the global market. This isn't just financial housekeeping. It's preparation for transformation. The central bank isn't simply collecting notes. It's laying the foundation for a more sustainable, powerful economic system. And that's not speculation. It's what's actually happening on the ground in real time, witnessed by people like Firefly, and confirmed by the language coming directly from Iraq's leaders. Moves like this don't happen unless a country is ready. You don't prepare to release new currency unless it's already been designed, printed, tested, and backed by the necessary infrastructure. What we're seeing is a calculated pivot. It's not just about changing the money. It's about rebuilding confidence in the financial system, restoring public trust, and showing the world that Iraq is serious about economic reform. For those watching from the outside, investors, governments, and individuals who followed this journey, it's a clear invitation. We're ready. Are you? Iraq is signaling its readiness to step into a new phase of economic stability and growth. Let's zoom out a little for those just now learning about this situation. Iraq has functioned under a dual currency reality for years. The US dollar has been widely used, so much so that salaries and prices were often given in dollars rather than dinars. Despite being the official national currency, the dinar was largely pushed aside within its own. But now things are shifting. Firefly reports that the dinar is finally gaining strength in the marketplace. Not because the dollar is collapsing, but because the dinar is being properly supported and valued. The return of national pride in the local currency is a big deal. That doesn't happen by accident. It's the outcome of coordinated policy, international collaboration, economic strategy, and internal reform. The final step in that process is the introduction of the lower denomination notes. Once those bills are in the hands of everyday people, once they're being used in markets and shops across Iraq, that's when we'll know the revaluation is no longer just a goal. It will be a reality in motion. That's when the shift becomes irreversible. That's when the train officially leaves the station. And from what we're hearing right now, that moment is very close. This is why the report from Firefly is so significant. This is why the statements from Sudani and Alaq matter so much. They're not just issuing financial policy. They're preparing the public for change. They're creating awareness, setting expectations, and encouraging people to re-engage with the banking system. And yes, there will be hesitation. Some citizens will resist. Change always brings uncertainty. But as people begin to experience the benefits, better access to services, stronger purchasing power, a safer and more reliable currency, they'll adapt. And more than that, they'll embrace it. Because at the end of the day, this is not about imposing control. It's about making progress. So what happens now? We stay alert. We watch every move from the central bank. We listen carefully to their public messaging. We look for signs, whether it's the distribution of lower denominations, the expansion of digital payment systems, or small, quiet adjustments to the exchange rate. Make no mistake, things are happening behind the scenes. The clock is ticking. And if you've been waiting for real change, this could be the opening act. Stay informed, stay connected, and continue following our updates here at the Dinar Channel. We'll keep bringing you first-hand insights, direct reports from those living through the change, and in-depth analysis to help you make sense of it all. Until next time, stay sharp, stay hopeful, and as always,